Bedwars. Bedwars never changes. In the year 2017, I wondered when I would be able to go home to my €12 computer and the AAA games I would never get to see. I got my wish. When French YouTuber Frigil ended his server Epicue, the Minecraft community awaited Armageddon, but instead, something miraculous happened. We just played on other servers. People enjoyed fun PvP minigames once thought in the realm of science fiction, but then, in February of that year, people awoke from the Minecraft server dream. Years of bad minigames and EULA violations led to the shortages of every player count. The entire community unraveled. Peace became a distant memory. It is now the year 2022, and we stand on the brink of total PvP. And I am afraid. For myself? No one else really? Because if my time on Hypixel taught me one thing...
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
...is that Bedwars never changes. Welcome to the 2022 Bedwars map tier list. This will not be an annual event. In this video, I will be ranking every 1v1v1v1 Bedwars map from painful to Godsend. There are some criteria for each tier, but I will get into that a bit later. First, we will start with the not good tier. No good.
Fortnite Battle Pass. I just shit out my ass, booted up my PC.
Glacier might not look bad at first, but the generators are some of the slowest on the server, and mid is so small and far away from every other island that it becomes useless to go there because it's either rush or get rushed. This map would be a lot more fun if mid was a little bit more accessible and the gen was not that slow. Acropolis is good at first, but it gets boring really quickly. People literally only bridge the same 4 places, the same 4 ways. Nothing interesting ever happens on this map. The midpoint is basically useless because nobody goes there. I don't find it any interesting. It discourages being creative with your building and your playstyle. Overall, pretty boring for me. Babylon. The generators on this map are actually pretty good, but mid is completely useless. There's too much useless space. Playing on this map usually just boils down to go to Diamond Island, rush on an enemy's island, then a 50-50 chance that you'll break their bed and kill them, repeat process until you win. There's so much useless space and weird little islands that no one would go to that it drives me insane to think that somebody even thought of putting them there.
Pernicious.
Everything is fine, but players are forced into this encounter at the Diamond Island, and for some reason people never go to mid. I don't know why, which is weird because once you get to Diamond, it's really not that far away. I don't know, every bit of Pernicious I recorded is really boring. I like the map visually though, it really helps the colors pop out, especially in a game like this that really needs it. Zarzul is a really weird map. It really feels like it was meant to be played in teams, but it's in the solo bracket for some reason. In fact, going to the Diamond Island will just put you at a huge disadvantage. Every player takes the same highly optimized route to it in the same exact way as each other. There's really not enough room for creative ways to play the game. I think that Skyrise is okay, but it really infuriates me. Mid is absolutely hell to navigate. Most fights will happen on your base or on Diamond. It's a less than decent map. It's not very fun, but it's not technically bad, so it'll have to stay at not good for now. And now that we're done with the not good tier, I'm finally gonna be able to talk some positive stuff about the maps.
You're pretty good.
You're pretty good. Pretty good.
UE is one of the newer maps, but I really like it because Diamond and Emerald are not that far away from your base, and there is a lot of distance between enemy bases. You have to make a choice between whether you want to rush somebody first or go for Diamond. This little change actually allows for a lot of different playstyles to shine. My only issue with it is that player bases are huge. This map was clearly not meant for solo, but it's still a welcome addition to the solo roster. Lighthouse is a map that should actually be in the previous tier, because of how underutilized mid is due to being so far away from every home base, but I really respected visually, and also what it tried to do with the verticality by having emerald gens on top of the lighthouse. If the island distances were just right, players' focus could be less on just rushing the guy next door, and more on having this fun battle on top of the tower. Up next is Crypt and, wait 1 second. I just remembered that I fucking hate this map and I have no idea how it snuck up the ranking, and because of that I'm sending it right back to Brazil where it belongs. Thank God I actually get to talk about a good map now. Waterfall is probably one of my favorite maps. At least it is very interesting. Instead of what you see on the other maps, on this map you have one big mid which is separated in 2 levels. Most players don't seem to care about it as much as I do, so it has to be in the pretty good tier. I really wish I had more to say about Apollo. The generators are fast, but there's still a pretty big distance between spawn and mid. People mostly fight you on your base in Diamond. I like how the Diamond Islands are kind of interconnected, but kinda not also. It's kinda good, but not good enough to make me want to play there again. It's is pretty good. Again, I don't have much to say about Hollow. It's a decent map, the gens are good, mid is pretty big, the distance between the islands is good. It's pretty good, but it's kind of boring. And I believe that... Oh my god, my controller. And I believe that does it for the pretty good tier, and now we get to talk about the real shit. We got to talk about the good stuff. We got to talk about Godsend in vivid details. That's right, 1 hour video per map, 1 hour long Wendigoon explanation, horror thread, r/Minecraft horror no sleep thread. Yup. Dare I say the first choice is going to be controversial, but in my humble, based opinion, Orchestra is one of the best maps ever made for Bedwars. You see, when I think of a good map, I think of a map that gives me a lot of choices. Orchestra does all of that and more, by allowing me to choose between rushing my opponent, rushing mid, or rushing diamond. Not to mention that mid is gigantic. There will be a lot of battles happening there, because no one wants to fall and die, like a small Indonesian child in the Emerald Mines of the now CEO of Twitter. Lightstone is almost perfect as well in those regards. I especially like how mid is constituted between like those bridges and then those little islands with a lot of space on it. It's a good map for both camping and rushing. The gens are not too fast but not too slow. You're guaranteed to encounter a lot of people at mid. Only issue you might have is that the spawns are a little bit too big. I think the map was meant for multiplayer, but I'm not too sure. It didn't cause any problems though. Oh yeah, and Speedway, yeah. I don't have much to say other than it makes me think of Hot Wheels and that those like little the hex bugs, yeah. It makes me think of those the hex bugs. Ever had that toy that was like a little bug that like vibrated and then like moved and you had like those circuits you had to build? That's pretty cool. I didn't actually play on it. I don't have any footage. I just think it looks really neat. It's usually like one of the best visual concepts for the maps. I didn't get to play on it because I don't have a rank on Hypixel and you can't really choose the maps every day, so I had to just play once if you don't have a rank on Hypixel, you kind of just have to pick one map a day, and that's kind of how I had to get the footage for this video. And Speedway was never available because fucking ranked people always pick it. So yeah, I never got to play on it, but I like it because it reminds me of hex bugs. Yeah, that's about it, really. S tier. But before this video continues, you need to know that it is sponsored by me. On the screen. Whoa. This is so cool. Whoa. Yeah, this is the part where I do the typical YouTube thing, and I tell you to click on this button right there to make me shut the fuck up. So, I mean, like, I'm not even gonna try to hide it and act like I'm special or something, but Playground fucking sucks. The only thing semi-positive I can say about it is that it's interesting. Rushing mid kinda makes it easier to rush other players, but still, it's some of the least fun I've ever had, and it's the most confused I've ever been playing this game. Like seriously, the map looks garbage. The generators are super slow. There's so much distance between everything. Rushing is impossible unless you first go to mid to then use the little platforms to run down on other people's islands. See, the thing is, I like when there's a big midpoint. However, it also has to be really fun to navigate. This is just a confusing mess that takes too much time to navigate. The map looks like shit. It plays like shit. It's in pain. Steampunk is another case of a map that got lost in its aesthetic. At first you might think it looks good and interesting, but it's probably the most annoying thing you can play on. Some islands are completely useless. Everything is too messy or confusing for any fights to happen outside of your base. People will always run away from interactions on mid. Like, seriously, they just don't want it. It's garbage. I don't want to see it or play on it ever again. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but Amazon also suffers from getting lost in its aesthetic. Amazon tried to do what Waterfall did best and completely butchered it. Now mid has multiple layers, but it's also completely garbage to navigate. Nothing makes sense. Moving on there is not intuitive at all. The gens are slow. The distance between the islands is ass. Diamond Islands are okay though, but still, it's boring and it's too big and annoying to navigate. I despise air show with a passion. A lot of players like it, but not me. The verticality is completely aesthetic. You can't actually go on the balloons down there or above or anywhere. It wouldn't even be viable. Not to mention the colors create a visual cluster on the map. You never know who went where, what was built by who. I hate it, but everybody loves it because they just get to rush on it and go as fast as they can. I've won a couple games on here, but I never had fun. I think everyone just gaslights themselves into thinking that they love this map just because they can go on it really fast, but really they all just play really fast to just get out of this map as soon as possible. Siege also suffers from everything I've said before, but it's even worse because this time it doesn't even have colors. At least the map looks okay, but you don't really see any of it because it's below the map that they put the most effort. I feel like this map was really not meant for solo. They should just remove it from the listings. Cliffside is also garbage. From afar, it looks like they intended for players to reach mid and then all fight there, but because mid is further than diamond and enemy bases, people just rush each other without a single thought in mind, and in the end, mid is only reached by the two last survivors. It's pretty big too, so it just takes them a long time to even navigate it. It's a big waste of time, it's annoying and ugly, and fucking hell, that does it for F. Or pain tier, not F tier. That tier really upsets me because a lot of these maps have a potential that is just not reached because the guys making it had no clue the player base they were making it for. I have spent a little bit too long working on this. It actually took me about a month to just get all the footage, and then it took me a couple more months to do the editing, but actually that's explained because I'm lazy and I have other projects, such as dethroning the Queen of England, August 2nd at 3 PM 30, beware. But otherwise it was pretty fun to make. None of this is actually supposed to be taken 100% seriously. This is mainly for shits and giggles, as people in the UK say for some reason. I hope whoever's watching this actually found some enjoyment in this. I just made this out of boredom. Thanks for watching, alright, bye!